Oh, just one of those days, I guess. How are we doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Getting Jiggly. I'm Will, and we're getting it previewed. We are previewing a game from the upcoming summer button shy wallet. I would say wallet extravaganza, but the wallet games are now going to be in a box or something, or rather. But they're coming in boxes now instead of wallets. But you still get a wallet. But this is the new one of the new ones. It is the Cursed Cat. It is in their solo series. So we're going to try to get through this. This is a kind of a puzzle game where you need to move everything from one section to another section while keeping everything in numerical order, basically their size. So we're going to see if I can do this. I'm not always great at these types of solving the puzzle of the numbers and the sizes and the things and the moving from one lane to the other, but we're gonna give it a shot. So let's go ahead and flip over, and I will give you a rundown of how this works. Maybe if I can find the right camera. No, that is not the one I want. That is the one I want. It wouldn't be a live stream if I didn't choose the wrong cameras at least 4 or 5 times. Piece to note, I do have this setting this way. That way you guys can see better when I line up all of the monsters that direction. In the setup, it has them going this way. So I don't think it shouldn't impact gameplay because we're still accomplishing the same objective. So what we're doing is we are going to be using our spells to move monsters from location to location. At the start of our turn, we can relocate up to 2 monsters as long as they follow the size rules. If our last spell that we tried to do failed, then we will only get to move 1 monster instead. Basically, we will select a monster that is of a higher level, and then we can relocate it 1 lane over. Yeah. Oh, sorry. No, it just needs to be greater. It can be in any column, right? So, like, I wouldn't be able to relocate this monster because, of course, it is smaller than this one and smaller than this one. But I would be able to relocate and I wouldn't be able to relocate the 12 on top of this either. So right now, I would have no monsters that I could technically relocate because they're all bigger and smaller than the other ones. The next thing is we can cast a spell every turn. We must attempt to cast a spell from the spell row or the top of the deck. The spell row, once they're used, they're gone. These are random, right? You just drew 3 cards at the beginning, put them there, fill up the monsters. The ones in the deck, of course, will refill because it's basically the deck, so the new one on the deck will show up every single time. Resolve the spell's effects in order. They move monsters or columns that are not considered relocations, and they ignore the size rule unless otherwise stated. Monsters still move to the tops of columns unless otherwise stated. If we cannot resolve the effects of the spell, then it will fail, and I'll be limited to a single relocation on my next turn. If there are any gaps below monsters after resolving the spell, shift monsters down into those columns. Discard the chosen spell whether it succeeds or not. If I cast a spell from the row, it does not get replaced. If I cast from the deck, then of course a new spell is going to be revealed. So, this is the beginning of my turn, and I can't relocate anybody. Yeah, so we can't relocate anybody. So we don't even get to relocate 1. I feel like that's a bad start. All right, so our spells, we can choose 2 even-sized monsters, 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom, and swap their positions. That's not going to help me because that'll put the 10 at the top, and I need the 10 to be the bottom. Really, I need this 13 out of here. So we have Whirlwind. That allows me to swap 2 columns of equal heights. Currently, they are not equal heights. Vertigo, choose 2 vertical adjacent monsters with a size difference of 5 or less and swap them. So I could swap like these 2. I could swap these 2. But again, it's not going to help me with this stupid 13. Couldn't swap those 2. Well, yeah, I could swap these 2. Could swap these 2. I could swap pretty much anybody with this one, but it's still not helping me there. Bind. Choose 2 vertically adjacent monsters. Move them to another column as if they are a single monster. You must follow the size rules using the sum of their totals. So what that means is I would be able to add up 2 of these, and as long as they are less than 13, I could move them here. Again, doesn't help me with the 13. I have to get that 13 out. I feel like this is a very bad first turn. I feel like I'm probably going to have to shuffle this and do it a second time. So what do? I need the 3, right? So that'd be 3 and 6, which I do need to get over here. So I could make those, that would be 9. So choose 2 vertically adjacent monsters, move them to another column as if they are a single monster. So this would be 9. 9 is, oh no, sorry. They need to be less than. Actually, I'm sorry. I could have moved monsters. So, so I would be able to move 2. Bigger monsters need to be on the bottom. What am I thinking, Will? What am I thinking? Bigger monsters need to be on the bottom. You can't have a level 3 hold up a level 13. So actually that was good. So this is the beginning of my turn. We're all resetting. So 12, and then we're going to do 11, right? And then now choose 2 even-sized monsters, one at the top, one at the bottom. No, that's not gonna work. Swap 2 columns of equal height. That kind of would work if I would have swapped these 2 before I moved this one. But this was the beginning of the turn. Choose 2 vertical adjacent monsters, different sizes of 5 or less, swap them. Can't do that. Bind. All right, so really all I can do is the bind. Bind 2 monsters together. So I can move these guys here. So I don't want to fail my spell. So I'm going to go ahead and cast Bind. That's going to move these 2 monsters. Anytime it says vertical, we have to read horizontal. Because, again, I'm playing horizontal right now. All right. And those slide down. All right. So that was my first turn. So now the problem is I have this guy here. So I need to move these 2 guys back out. So I'm going to move move him here, which gives me these 2. And I'm going to move him. I don't want to move him here because I want to move this guy on the next turn. Oh, I can move him off and then move him back. I can move 10. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and move him here. So that's our 2. All right, then we're going to do Twist of Fate. We're going to swap this one and this one. All right. Then we get to move 2. So we need our 10. So we're going to move our 3 up. And then move our 10. Pocket Dimension. Rotate this spell and place it as a new room with a space or a column above it. If the column is emptied after a monster leaves it, discard this spell. Swap 2 columns of equal height. I don't need to do. I need to get them all down here in the portal, so I don't want to swap. Vertigo. Choose 2 vertically adjacent monsters with a difference of 5 and swap their positions. 5 or less. So we're going to swap these 2. Right? Yeah. Because I need to do a spell. I could have done Pocket Dimension. I probably should have done Pocket Dimension. Alright, so now we're going to move him down. Move him over. I feel like I should only be able to move them 1 column. Doesn't say that. Like, I feel like I should only be able to move them to like the next to the adjacent column. Select any monster at the top of a column, place it at the top of another column. Yeah, just needs to be another column. Okay. So that was my second move, right? Because move the 3, move the 9. Okay. So swap 2 columns. I can't do that, so we are going to go ahead and put out our Dimensional breach. Our pocket dimension is way up here at the top. All right. So we get to move 2. So we're going to move 1, 2. All right. And then honestly, it doesn't even matter if I can't do this, but choose the top monster of any column. Discard that monster and place this spell in its place. Flip to its 7 monster side. Do not discard this spell. So this would just make him a 7. I don't want to do that. Swap 2 columns. Don't want to do that. So I have failed casting my spell. So I can only move 1 monster. And he's off the board. That one is off the board. So I have succeeded, I guess. I think I've succeeded. I mean, this is probably supposed to be a fast game. So there we go. That was I guess, a success. So let's go ahead and, since that was so quick, now I have a partial understanding of what's going on. Go ahead and shuffle all this back up. See if we can do it again. See if we can do it again. All right. So basically, at the if every monster is in the portal column, you banish them all from your tower and win the game. If the deck or spell row are both empty, at the end of any turn, you lose the game. So that's how it goes. All right, so let's go ahead and try again. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. And this was easy. So let's go ahead and we're gonna ramp it up to medium. So that is 2, 3, 4 in that column, 3 in this one, and 1 in the bottom. All right. So it basically gives us 1 less card for our. Actually, I might have been doing. Was I doing? I don't remember. Was this what I had set up the first time? 3? Yeah, it was. So actually, I did medium the first time. I'm not. I don't think I want to go up to hard. Hard makes this a 5. So I basically have 1 less turn. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. All right. So start on my turn. Move 2 monsters. So we're going to move 1, 2. 13 has to be first. That's my highest number. All right. Titanic Clash. Choose a monster sandwiched directly between 2 adjacent monsters, vertically or horizontally. Discard it. Oh. And you just get rid of a monster. We do have the pocket dimension again if we need it. And then we do have the bind again. So the bind, so what do we need? We need this 11. So we got to get this 11 out of there. Reverse gravity. Reverse the size rule. Do not relocate onto larger monsters. Place a spell next to the column as a reminder. Then end its effect and discard it when you choose your next spell. Okay, so this one, it's for 1 turn. I'll be able to put a heavier monster on top of 13. Or heavier monster on top of 6. I need 6 out of the way just so I can get to 11. And 6 will go on top of 8, so 11 can come over here. So I really don't need to do either one of those. So do I get rid of a card? No, let's go ahead and do the pocket dimension. Go ahead and do the pocket dimension. There. All right, so we get to move 2 cards. So we're going to move the 6 up the 8. Or I'll just throw it over in the pocket dimension. Move the 11 onto the 13. All right. So now I can reverse gravity. I don't need to reverse gravity. Choose a monster sandwich directly between 2 adjacent monsters. So this one. The 3, I could get rid of the 3, get rid of the 9. The 9's going to be easy, though, because I can just do 8 down here, 9 over here. The 1 is, like, at the end, right? So I guess we'll get rid of the 3. So I'm going to do Titanic Clash. We get rid of... That lets us move... Now it's the beginning of our turn again, so that lets us move 2. So we're going to move the 8 over here, move the 9 over here. Now, reverse the size rule. Do not relocate onto larger monsters. Place this column next to... Which is fine. So I don't want to do the bind, I don't think. No. So to get over 9. So we're going to go ahead and reverse gravity. By reversing gravity, we change the rule, which for me is no big deal because I'm just going to I get to move 2. Oh, that means I can't put it on him. So we're going to go ahead and move 1. Do I have to move 2? Up to 2. I don't have to move 2. It wouldn't matter because I would just move him up there anyways. But that gets rid of my pocket dimension. I don't want to get rid of my pocket dimension. So, reverse gravity. So I have 4 turns left. All right. Swap 2 columns of equal height. We're going to go ahead and do that. All right. Reverse gravity went away. Now we're going to do you there and you there. That's 2. All right. Pocket dimension goes away. So we need we're going to use bind because bind is 5. And move both of them there. 1 again. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. I feel like it shouldn't be that easy. Should I go one more time on hard? I did only have 2 cards left. But we're gonna do it again. We're gonna try one more time on hard. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like I feel like that's too easy. Or I said, because at the beginning of this stream, I said, I'm not good at these type of puzzles, but I guess maybe I'm better than I think I am. So let's see here. All right, so 1, 2, 3. These are our first 3 spells. Got to bind again. So we do 5 up here now. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, that 15 being at the bottom. Then 3. Put 3 here. And then 1. It's always 1 down here. Now the thing is, if I had my pocket dimension, I would be a little bit happier than I currently am. But we will see. So this is bad. He's all the way down here. So I need that 15. So let's move. See, these are in a good order. Like all these are in a good order. Kind of. It's this 1. How do I dig down? I got to dig down to the 15. But putting them all here isn't going to be good unless I can swap those 2. Reflect. Choose 2 monsters in the same row with a different size, 4 or less, swap their positions. In the same row, 4 or less, that's 3, and swap them. All right. Question is, do I move a card now? Call forth. Choose a monster in the middle of its column, neither at the top nor the bottom. Move it to another column. Get rid of this. Choose 2 monsters in the same row, discard the larger one, and place a smaller one in its place. I'm trying to decide, do I want to move anything? I need to get rid of this somehow. So I guess for the moves, we'll move the 1 up here to get it out of there. And then we will move the 12 here. Yeah. All right. Then we're going to play Reflect, because that is 4 or less, to swap those. Beginning of my turn, we're going to go ahead and move you to this column. So at 15, and we're going to move you to this column, 12. All right. So I may have messed myself up. Choose 2 monsters in the same row, discard the larger one, and place a smaller one in its place. All right. So we're going to do that. We're going to... this is too far down for me to get, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And we destroyed that monster by playing Betrayal. All right, now I get to move 2. So 1, 2. All right, I missed 3, 2, 1 again. Dark Summon. Choose the top monster of a column. Discard that monster and place this size 7 monster in its place. Yeah, I'm good with that. All right. Then we're going to move 1 and then 2. So I need to get to the 6. All right. So here's my question. When it says I have to move the 2 vertical monsters, it doesn't say it has to be at the top, right? It could be here, it could be anywhere that I want it to be. I can move them to another column following the rules. But it doesn't specifically say that I have to keep the order. All right. So Twist of Fate, choose 2 even-sized monsters, one at the top, one at the bottom, and that's not going to work. So I only have these 3 spells left, so I basically have 3 turns left. Choose a monster in the middle of its column, move it to another column. Can't do that either. I think I'm only going to be able to move 1. Because even if I did this, I would be putting them on top of the 6, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to fail the spell. So it says, whether you fail or not, I still have to discard the spell. So I have to discard one of these. I think I'm going to discard the evens. All right, so we're going to move only 1 to there. Now, vertically adjacent, this guy's in the way. So I moved 1. All right, I need to leave him there. So we're going to only move 1 because that's all I can move. We're going to do the call 4th. Move the middle guy out. There. Then we get to move 2. 1, 2. Doesn't matter whether we can play this or not, and we can't because we don't have 2 monsters, but we do get to... Oh, no, it says at the end of my turn. It says at the end of my turn if there are no cards. So yeah, I failed because I don't have 2 monsters to bind. I'm guessing. I'm guessing because I can't do all of the text. Because if I could bind to that guy... Actually, hang on. Instead of moving this up here, what I should have did was move it there. Now I can do bind, which will allow me to move both of these guys to another column. It doesn't say I have to keep them in that order. It says they are a single monster of 5. And then it says you need to... Oh, no, I can't because 5 is more than 4. I can't. Yep. All right. So that's a loss. Anyway I look at it, that one was a loss. All right. So that was 3 playthroughs. I think I got it by the end. I was saying it was easy, but then I toned it up to hard, and it wasn't quite easy. It actually was a little bit more challenging that time. But there we go. We're going to go ahead and give our first impressions. Again, this is a prototype copy that was sent to me by the publisher. Things are subject to change, but a lot of times your button shy games, by the time they're coming to me like this, and it's not a print and play, they're pretty good to go. So the first thing is the components. Again, standard button shy quality cards. If you've ever bought a button shy game, you're going to know what the card quality is. The graphic and the art is really cool, interesting looking. All the monsters are unique. The numbers are very easily seen. The spells make sense in the way that they're written. I like the portal and the lab. You know, there's nice artwork on here. One thing that would be nice is, because again, they're limited to 18 cards. So these are some of the 18 cards. It'd be nice if the back had something else, maybe an alternate mode of play or a rule or a condition, so you could choose. And I think that maybe I'll go on it into the difficulty, right, is what if I played this right, which I think I did based on the rules as I read it. Somebody will let me know in the comments if I didn't. I did feel like medium felt a little bit too easy, and even this almost felt too easy on hard. So by having some kind of like restriction or some type of thing here, or vice versa, maybe this game is too hard for somebody, having some type of benefit, right? When it says all monsters in this location have +1 to their weight, or -1 to their weight, or things like that. I think that would just be cool to use the back side of the card. That's all for components. The rule book is, again, just a single sheet of paper that was sent to me. Most of your button shy rule books are like that. They're very small, very short, so they'll fit inside the wallet, and they're to the point. I was saying I didn't know this, I didn't know that when I was looking at the rules, but like if I reread it, I was trying to, I think, overthink the rules versus how the rules were written. If you play the game as rules written, you're not going to run into any problems. But of course, it is playing the game as rules written. The mechanics. So the unique mechanics in this one is the spell book, right? And each one of these has different things that can happen. And again, every game will be different because of which side you get. Is it the monster? Is it the spell? So I think that's nice. The puzzle is really the key thing, right? Is the strategy of getting, where do I move this to uncover this to get this based on the spells that I can see. And then what spells I don't even know that I have. I don't know, my brain isn't good enough for this, but again, you know which spells are attached to what monsters. If you're somebody who can memorize that, good on you. I'm not that kind of person. If you're somebody who's going to write that down, bad on you. I feel like that defeats the point of the game. But yeah, it's very neat how you combine those two to move them around where you need to. Like, I wish I had that portal on that last playthrough, right? I kind of said that from the beginning because I liked the portal. It was nice to get that extra space over there, or not portal, I forget what they called it. But yeah, so it's very neat, very simple, very quick, right? I did three playthroughs in less than 30 minutes, which is always a good thing. And that kind of leads into the difficulty. I feel like the difficulty in this is very light. I went into this thinking, oh, it's going to require a lot of decision space. It's going to be really hard for me to figure out how to get these numbers moved. It wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. So I would say this, if you haven't played many of these types of games, this would probably be a really good entry into this solo series. I feel like it's not too overly done. Now, for complexity, right, for complexity's sake, one thing it says here, it says, before you play, included in this package is the Cursed Cat base game and a Fickle Paws expansion. Make sure you separate the cards before you do that. So mine doesn't have the Fickle Rules expansion. It was just the regular one. So I imagine with any Button Shy game, if you've ever seen any of my other playthroughs and previews, when I add in the expansions, it cranks up that difficulty considerably. So by having expansions added into this will help vary that up. Maybe they do have asymmetric powers in one of the expansions. Maybe they will have more monsters or more spells or restrictions. Maybe they're cursed spells that get thrown into your book, and therefore you're either forced to play it and have something bad happen, or you don't play it and you can only move one of your monsters. So I think the difficulty is at a good place, and I think, as usual, Button Shy will add more to increase that. Fun it too. This is the solo series, so this is only meant to be played solo. However, me and Audrey have played some of the solo games together, helping make decisions. I think it really depends on your two-player group, right? If you openly collaborate and you openly communicate and help make decisions, it would give you a second set of eyes because of how, not to say easy, but because of how easy I found it. I don't know if there would be an advantage to play it two players. Now, as a solo game, like I said, it took me less than 10 to 15 minutes per playthrough because I don't have the box. It doesn't say on the rule sheet how much it would take, but I imagine it's a 10-minute game. Once you get it down pat. Of course, I've got to talk through my paces and moves and what I'm thinking about, read the cards to you guys. That's a little bit of time, but again, I got 3 games done in less than 30 minutes. So I think that's really good for a solo game. Take the little wallet with you. Real quick lunchtime game, right? You eat lunch for 15 minutes, and then you can knock out probably about 2 games of this before you have to go back to work. If you get a 30-minute lunch. If you're like me and you got an hour lunch, well, you can get a little bit more time. Last thing is the theme. So the theme is the Cursed Cat is the name, and there is a cat on the spell book, right? So he's nice and cute art there. It reminds me, it's actually kind of like the Black Cat, Sailor Moon Black Cat, if he had the little moon on his head. But the theme's fine. I don't say the theme is what's going to win you over on this one. If you don't like monsters or things that could be slightly grotesque, I mean, this isn't really that grotesque, but maybe that does turn you off. A little goat with a mouth in the middle of its face or belly. It might not be the theme for you. But if you want it for the gameplay, I think the theme is just something that's nice and put on there. You are casting spells, which is good. The theme is that you're trying to get all these monsters out of your tower, your wizard tower. So you're sending them to the portal to get them out. I'm guessing that's the Cursed Cat. I'm guessing the cat accidentally opened the portal and all the monsters came in. It doesn't say that, because there is no flavor text in Button Shy games usually, but you can make up your own story, add some theme if you want to. But there we go, guys. That is that. That is three playthroughs. Three playthroughs of one of the upcoming Button Shy games, The Cursed Cat. We do have a second game in that campaign, which is Forest Rivals. So me and Audrey will be playing Forest Rivals on the channel next Friday. So if you want to watch that, subscribe to the channel. When I put up the video for the live stream, hit the remind me. That way you can come out and join us. One thing I haven't done, I need to ask my contact at Button Shy, is when I get these, what do they expect me to do with them? Because normally we give these away, right? So I'm going to check and see if he'll let me do this for Calling for Charity. Calling for Charity does allow us to get rid of some prototypes that we are sent, which could include some print and play prototypes. I do have a couple Button Shy print and plays I have. I also have I forget what the other print and play I had was. It was the deck building dungeon crawl one. One Hit Heroes? Maybe? Something like that. But I have that one as well. But I'll reach out. But if you want to get some of the games that we're calling for charity, whether it's prototypes, small box, medium box, large box games, or lots of promos. I got a lot of promos. If you like cutesy stuff like this, Flamecraft, I got the Flamecraft promo they sent to us a couple years ago. Tons of them. I need to, get them to homes where they will serve a good advantage or serve a benefit to somebody else. And of course, the biggest advantage is that you will be donating to Extra Life Charities and Children's Miracle Network to help the sick and injured kids, at those hospitals that need that help. The parents, the families, they do a lot. They even do more than just the hospitals now. They consider themselves an entire network, and they do a lot of charity and help for families. I think they've even started spreading to like helping families in their homes a little bit. But if you want to know more about it, link down below to Extra Life and links out to Children's American Network from there, plus our BGG links, which tells you what we're calling for charity. But that's that, guys. I'm going to go grab some lunch. So until next time, peace.